in the I told him the hunter like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the ocean, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me, send me calling, ready for war like Korea, headlining shows out in Poland, you should be cleaning my mansion.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away. And we may have a face mask here right at the start.
Official foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The numbers for him from a week ago, 20 carries, 98 yards, and a score.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they build any type of a change-up.
Throwing is Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he's got Shockey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Right back to him on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And on the ground they go with the running back. How about another? And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And it's going to be third down and forever.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that the defense gets excited about.
And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Now a play fake here on first down. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. 6 catches, 53 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Green, off play action. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. A look at the lineup defensively for the Ravens, who have been pretty good against the pass, number 10 in the league. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Green. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Back near the goal line, here's Rodgers. Finding his safety valve here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2.
319.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, if you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
Throwing on 1st down. Green. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Now let's go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Green throwing on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Looking to throw. Green. And almost intercepted. If he could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And he comes back with one complete. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Green. Floating one, incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Green, 39.
And here's Green throwing again. And his pass incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Green now to throw on 3rd down. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Rodgers. Left side caught by Diggs. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go! Green, 39!
To throw is Green on 3rd down. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out. James hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them. providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
319.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game.
319.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
319.
They'll give to the big man, Campbell. And able to work his way down to the 16. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. That's complete right around the 8. And the agility got him a few extra before he's taken down right at the 10. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. That's a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
319.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Gold is able to put it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
Now Green throwing to start the drive. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Green now. Looking to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Bucs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
Set. 319. 319.
Now Green operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
It's complete to Diggs. A gain of 6 there on first. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. On second down now, Campbell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Johnny Hecker now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded at about the 28. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And he spins past him and into space. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And here's Green on 1st and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Let's go!
On 3rd down, Green. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. In for the score. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Extra point attempt to follow here. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flush to his right. Finding room at the 30. And finally down at the 41-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Owens. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Rodgers to throw on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Rodgers now on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
319!
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. This is Gordon on the dump off. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. 6 yards on the pickup. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And they're going to face a third down. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. And Gould is able to put it through. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. Fielded about a yard deep. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20, 10, and he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Extra point right down the middle. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Looking to throw. Green. And that's complete to Lewis. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. On first down, they run it on the draw play. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back to throw. Green. And his throw here is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
To throw is Green. Off the play fake. He's going to float this one. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point attempt here still to come. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
319!
From the gun on 3rd down. Rodgers over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. On the handoff, here's Campbell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
319!
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Set! 319!
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They had a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Pulled in at the 24. A big boot that time, 57 yards, the official distance. And now here come the Ravens. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Rodgers. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Rodgers now to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Green to throw on 3rd down, and that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. Pressure comes and it's blocked. The Ravens block it. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. All right, Charles Davis, what do we make of these numbers and what's happened to the big tight end here?
Well, I think a lot of times we talk so much about adjustments and what you're going to do at halftime that maybe we miss what actually goes on. Because the sense is that, oh, they go in at the half, they just change everything. That's not really true. A Super Bowl winning quarterback over the year always used to say, you've worked all week on a game plan. There's a reason you have it. Just either play it better or make subtle tweaks to it. Otherwise, there's no sense even going into a ball game. A lot of times that's what they do. Just find a little subtle thing, one little change, and maybe it can make things a little bit better.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
319.
Now Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up third and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
319.
They'll run. It's Campbell. And he'll get nothing out of that one. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Gold is able to put it through. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. Another 3 on the board. He's been the lone bright spot. That's now 4 field goals.
If this offense had finished a few drives, we'd be looking at a different complexion to this ball game, because right now, the trade is really wrong for them, isn't it? They're trading field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns. That's not going to work.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go now.
Green on first down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
Now here's Green. From the gun, he'll throw. Got a man over the middle, It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Green now. Off play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Holding offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's able to find Diggs. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
3-19!
Rodgers now on 1st down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
And again, it's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The penalty set him back. Now a big play moves him forward. It's 2nd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Rodgers again now. And this will be incomplete. The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're looking at third and a few inches. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Rodgers to throw once more. It's complete to Diggs. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 19 and pick first. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gordon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the run, it's Campbell. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play. And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there. It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game? He's going to get it running right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they? They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
So out come the Bucs now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
All right, here we go. Green.
To throw is Green on 1st and 10.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now Green throwing on 3rd and long. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. He's picked off near his own 48. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now Rodgers. And Diggs has it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Rodgers now on first down. And he's got Shockey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
18.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Time for a break. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. This is fielded at the 27. Oh, he slipped right by him. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Ravens taking the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
319.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Tampa Bay, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they will try to turn it around next week as they head down to Carson for a matchup with the LA Chargers.